My hands.
Oh, there's a gaggle.
Hmm?
There's our group.
I don't think you're muted.
Huh?
I don't think you're muted. I don't know how to do it, but everybody has a mute button by their name except for
It's
you.
right here. Hello, everyone. Can everyone hear me okay?
Yes.
Yes.
Awesome. And can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, great. Just wanted to cover the basis before we get started. Okay, we are going to go ahead and get started because it's 1 o'clock. I am recording this, so we will make sure to send this out to everyone and then you all as well, so that you can review it if you need to. But we are excited to show you all a new way that we are going to be doing newsletters. Hopefully you'll notice that it's going to be so much easier and faster for you all. And we will be doing this for our next newsletter. So we've already submitted for October's newsletter. So this is going to be how we are going to do it from now on, starting with our November newsletter. So I'm going to go ahead and walk you through the steps on how we're going to do this. And so I can't see all of you. So please just, if you have a question, feel free to unmute yourself and speak up so I can hear you and hear your question. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. So this is going to be our new process. I'm just going to show you how to get to key stats. I think everyone knows how to get to key stats, but just in case, I'm going to start from the basics. You can always go to key stats from Compass, and Compass will usually open up whenever you open up your browser anyways. But that's where you're going to find our new button that you're going to use for newsletter submission. So on Key Stats, you are going to scroll all the way down to the very bottom, and you're going to find a brand new shortcut called Campus Newsletter. So this is what you are going to click on at the very bottom of the Key Stats shortcut. I'm going to go ahead and click on that. You'll notice it takes you to Porter 1. And in this password, it's going to be Trilogy News. And I will also show you where you will be able to find that again in case you forget. But it is all lowercase Trilogy News. And something that worked for me is whenever I logged into it before, it remembered this password. So you might not have to enter it in every single time. So it is Trilogy News, all lowercase. You're going to submit. And you are going to see, first of all, you will see the templates. So these are the templates that are going to be on here now, and that's where you will be able to access them. So you're going to have the ED corner that you would just be able to click on, and you would be able to use that ED corner just like you normally do. I'll go ahead and click on it. This is for October's, so you won't need this, obviously, for November. But it is just going to open up like a regular document. It might be a little slow for me. So it's just like normal. Here's your ED corner. So this is what you're going to use to copy and paste it into the template. So just like normal, that's what you would do. We'll go back. And then we have a brand new Campus Monthly Newsletter template. So we updated this so that it is better, it's easier, it looks better as well. So we're going to go ahead and open this, get rid of that, so I can show you all what this looks like. All right. Is that okay? Caitlin, are you on the call?
Yes.
All right. So Caitlin is one of our LEDs, and she actually made this and redid it for us. So I'm going to have her take all the credit and showcase to you all what is on this new template.
Yeah, so we really just cleaned up the template. We got rid of a lot of the old systems that we don't use, a lot of the old topics that we don't use anymore, like life loop. We updated some verbiage, things like that, but we just made it more concise. So Rebecca, if you'll scroll down a little bit, Daniela updated the process on that first page to reflect the new key stats way that we're going to be submitting them. And then,
Yep, and just to note that the password is here on this template if you ever forget it. But yes, it's all the directions are right there. So that's really nice.
yeah. And then I've now highlighted all of the required articles. Everything that you're required to do for every newsletter is now going to be in red and boldened. And then anything that's optional will be blue. So I've also included some little tidbits, some information just to kind of help you, especially if you're a new LED or there is a new LED that our areas are supporting. It'll just help them to, get started. So required the executive director's corner, of course, that's given to you. Rebecca just showed you where to find that. Something that's new though is legacy news. So we really want to include our legacy neighborhoods and ways and our lanes in our newsletters as well. So whoever your legacy leader is or your legacy neighborhood directors, they will be the ones responsible for this section. So you'll just need to make sure that you get them the different topics. And of course, if they have a different topic other than these three, they are more than welcome to do so. They just need to get it to you so you can put it into this same template. And then required upcoming campus events, just so that our families and our residents are always aware of what's going on the next month in campus. You're going to need to update like with your brunches, your family nights, anything special that you have going on. Of course, we have some holidays coming up and we're getting into our busy season. So this would be a great place to highlight all of that. Photo captions were required before, they're still required now. That just makes it a little easier on Porter One when they're putting it all together. And then interesting and newsworthy, it is required that you do 3 articles, but you can do up to 6. So the first 3 are the required, and then those last 3 are optional, and it says there. And then it's required for the department heads. You will always just want to review your list from the previous month and then add or remove leaders as needed. And then article suggestions, there wasn't much that changed here. I just kind of sectioned them out so they make more sense. So there's other topics, and then culinary topics, and then our life enrichment trilogy service standards. And then just kind of highlighted what you could talk about in relation to each of those things. There was some terminology updates as well. And then signature events. You'll have your Taste of the Town themed dinner or whatever, family night, whatever it may be, and then seasonal programming. So you might want to highlight your Camps in Color, the Living Arts, summer field trips, the travel club, your divisional outing, whatever it is. And it just kind of explains what those are. And then recognition. We really want to take the focus off the employee portion. I know in the previous template, there were a few different sections where you could talk about that, but since it is the resident newsletter, we really want it to focus more on the resident. So if there was a great customer service moment, you could put that there, a featured resident or resident of the month, and then smile of the month as well.
Awesome.
And then I think I saw someone ask a question. Is the event section meant to be bullet point format or in narrative form? It's up to you. And I know from my campus, it works best if I do it more bullet point. So I'll do, and I don't really mean bullet point. I do the date and then whatever the event is next to it. And then on the next line, I'll put the next date, next event. And they'll typically put it in a tiny little section in the newsletter.
Awesome. Awesome. And I'll show you guys. Thank you, Caitlin, so much for showing that and for also editing that and fixing it because it was definitely needed. So appreciate that. So again, you guys can find this on whenever you go to that newsletter button again on KeyStats, you will be able to find that template right there. And then I also just really quickly wanted to show you all some examples that we have of some campuses that are consistently doing a great job with submitting their newsletter and their articles. So Porter One, they sent us 3 different campuses that are doing a great job. These aren't obviously the only 3 campuses that are, doing this, but they just chose these 3. So wanted to give a shout out to Ashford Place. This is what theirs looks like. Of course, this is the old template, but I just wanted to show you really quickly how simple it can be and what it can look like for you all when you're doing it, just making sure that you're doing it all correctly. So of course, here is the ED corner. Here are how they did the photo captions, which I really liked. So they had here's the file name of those pictures. And then they just put the names of the residents there. Again, here is the other file names too with residents names, and they said no caption needed. And if they had a caption, they put it right there. So there's a lot of different ways that you can do that. And then here are the articles that they did. So just had a lot of great details. Yeah, and then here's some upcoming events. So that's something that, we've added to the new template that we would like, that it is required. And so here's an example of how you can do that. It could just be as simple as the title of the event and then the date. And of course, Porter One is going to make it look so great in the newsletter. So, and then here are the department leaders listed as well. And just another variety. So here's Willows at Howell, their newsletter. Again, the ED corner, they've got their photo captions right here. and then their department leaders, and then their articles. So they did 4 different articles there. Great job. So just another idea. And then, of course, Arlington Place. Some other ideas. Doesn't have to be a lot, doesn't have to take a lot of time either. Just, picking your 3 big articles that you want to talk about, and then making sure you got those department leaders in there. And they just actually, let me see. So they just had them say, please change this director, and then add another person. So there's different ways that you can do it. But yeah, so that is just some examples. Again, very simple. It doesn't have to take that long of your time to do this. And I'll go back to the process. So again, there's the template. We did go ahead and update the patio homes and the IL template as well. I will just quickly show you guys this in case there's any patio or community lifestyle directors on the call. Let me upload that. Okay, so here is patio homes. Again, here are the instructions on exactly what to do. And then it's very similar, ED Corner, photo captions, and then they have some articles listed of ideas that you could talk about. So that is the patio homes, and then we have the IL monthly newsletter. And I did want to make a quick comment about this because there are 5 IL campuses that are piloting a different template. So if you are one of those 5 IL campuses, please just continue to do what you are supposed to be doing in your pilot. But other than that, here is the newsletter template. It's very similar to the other one. We just added the instructions on how to get onto key stats and the new process. But very good, this one's very simple. And this might be something we're looking at changing in the future after they pilot the new template. So again, those are all easily found right here on the key stats button. And then it even gives you instructions. All completed newsletter content and photos are due by the first Thursday of each month. So that is still the same, the first Thursday. And then how you're going to upload these. So what you're going to do, so once you click on this template and you edit it for your campus, you are going to select your campus here. So I'm going to select one of mine that I support. So you're just going to select your campus, and then you're going to click this button and you're going to upload your files this way. So once you click on it, you don't really have to change anything in these top 2 sections, but right here you will need to put your name, your email address, and if there's any other instructions or comments that you need to mention. But just please make sure that you put your name and your email address, because this will also help just in case you accidentally or someone else accidentally selects the wrong campus, because everybody has access to all those campus names. So if you type your name here and your email address, that will just, Porter One will double check that to make sure that your email address matches your campus and the campus that you selected. So don't worry about if someone else is going to select your campus or if you accidentally select another campus. But as long as you put your name and your email address here, that will help Porter One make sure your newsletter gets to the right place. So then once you do that, you can click to add files here, and then it's going to take you right to your files. And so you could go to wherever your documents are, and you can click in your newsletter right there, wherever you saved it, and then your pictures as well. So you're going to upload your newsletter file here and all of your pictures. And you can do all of that in just this one step. So instead of having to send multiple emails with multiple pictures because the emails are too big or the files are too big, this is going to be so much nicer just to be able to upload everything right here. And so please just make sure you are doing one submission. We do not need to do one submission for the newsletter and then another submission for pictures. Just please make sure that you are doing it all as one. All your newsletter and your pictures are all right here. Is there any questions about that portion?
Just clarification real quick. When
Yes.
you said, please type your name and email address, do you want the LED's name or do you want the campus name there?
Is Will on the call?
I sure am. Hi, Rebecca.
Hi, sorry, I forgot to say that you were on the call. Will from Porter One is here.
Hi, everyone.
Will, what would you like best? Is it their individual name, right?
Their individual name. Yep, that would be great.
Okay.
So one of the things that we saw, so we're still working out a few bugs with this, but should have everything ready this week. Once you select on the page previous to this that Rebecca was on, there's a drop down and you pick out your campus name from that. And your campus name should reflect that. Like, so if we picked Silver Oaks, go ahead and pick Boonesboro Trail again.
Yep.
For some reason, Boonesboro Trail, once you select it and click upload files, go ahead and click that, is coming up as Silver Oak. So that's something that we'll need to fix. But the correct campus name will be shown there under campus. And then, so you don't need to type in your campus. But what we do ask is that you double check.
Name needs to go to Legacy, Lisa.
That you do double check and make sure that that's campus matches. But yes, your name, your email address, and then any instructions or comments, like, for example, hey, I have, here's my articles and my photos are coming in the next hour or something like that. Feel free to, let us know if there's any extra details related to submission or the content for that month.
That's great. Thank you, Will. Any other questions about this process right here? Okay. Awesome. All right, I will go ahead and go back. So again, make sure all of those files are in there.
Microphone's dead. I told the students.
Oh, is there a question?
Looks like there's a question in the chat. It said, do we still have to change the photo file names from whatever numbers they were assigned to a descriptive name?
Yeah, you will want to make sure that those that the files that you save your photos on still go to the article that it goes with. Does that make sense? So like if you're writing a Taste of Town article and you have Taste of Town pictures, you'll want to
Went
put,
on and then it went off.
you'll want to have the file name be Taste of Town 1, Taste of Town 2, Taste of Town 3. So that way Porter 1 knows which photos go to which article. I hope that answers the question. And for some reason, if you accidentally forget a picture and say that you went ahead and uploaded those files and you forgot a picture, you can go back in and upload. You might want to make a comment about it, but you can go back in again and add that picture.
For check tomorrow.
So,
We're gonna do, I found birthday donuts.
Oh,
So
Oh.
at Coffee and Donuts.
oh.
Well, everyone make sure that they're muted, please. Thank you. All right. So, and then one thing that we really wanted to make sure that you all know is that we will not be, Hillary or anyone from Porter One is not going to be sending reminder emails anymore to you all about the newsletter. So instead, of course, your LAS will probably have it, I know I do, always have it on our weekly messages of when the newsletter is due, but you will not be receiving an email anymore about like with all those templates or anything in it. So that is a new change. So you will just go on to key stats and click on the button whenever it's due, whenever it's time. And you can do these early, of course. Will was saying that, you know, the ED corners are done by the, what is it, like last week of the month. And so you're welcome to go in and make your new newsletter for the next month, like a week in advance if you needed to. And the other change as well is that this is also the same button you're going to use to review proofs. So it says right here, if you need a reminder that you can click the link below. Proofs will be uploaded on the third Wednesday of the month. So the third Wednesday of the month, you can come back to this button and you will be able to review your proof. And you will have 2 days to send your revisions or approvals. Proofs will be available from the third Wednesday of the month until that Friday after. So if you need to revise anything or look at it, you can just go back into Key Stats, click on this button, and you'll be able to review your proofs that way. And I think that is everything. So it is very simple. It's very quick. Does anyone have any questions?
Rebecca, can you go back down and
Yeah.
where you were just now talking about reviewing proofs?
Yes.
Am I seeing that after that time, any revisions will be subject to a fee for reprinting? So is that a fee that's incurred by the campus?
Will, do you want to talk to that?
Yeah. So that particular sentence for a fee for reprinting only applies if we've already printed and shipped your newsletters. And so if most of the time, like say, for example, hey, we had a late submission and we want to go ahead and get this changed. It was something in this that we're submitting after the final date. And then what Hillary usually will do is reach out to the campus and say, well, we've already printed and shipped your newsletters. We're happy to reprint them, but here's the cost in order to do that. Not very common at all. It doesn't happen hardly ever. But we want to let you know that that is an option. Say, for example, you approved something that is totally wrong. You absolutely have to get those completely reprinted and reshipped. That is an option if you approve it.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Awesome. Any other questions? Is there anything in the chat? Could someone look for me? Is everything good? Okay.
Rebecca, I saw one other question that's a good question. How do we add more newsletters? If campuses want to change what their quantity is, you can email Hillary. Hillary's contact information is throughout this entire process. So if you scroll down, I think her email or phone number is on all of this. She really wanted to be on the call today, but unfortunately isn't feeling well today. But if you have any questions at all related to any of this, feel free to drop Hillary an email or give her a call. Yeah, you can either email or call Hillary if that's easier, or if you click on that uploads file button again, and where it says, please leave comments or instructions below. If you let us know in that and say, hey, right now we're getting 90 newsletters, but we'd like to get 95 newsletters or whatever that may be, that's all you would need to do, and we can update that quantity for you.
Awesome. And again, Hillary's information is right here as well. I've noticed her email is on all of the steps, so it's very helpful to have all of that. Just to make sure everyone knows where to find the button, I just want, in case you were a little bit late, again, on Key Stats, scroll to the very, very bottom. You'll see Campus Newsletter. And see, I didn't even have to put in the password anymore, and you might not have to for a little bit of time. So it'll just take you directly to the page that you need. Awesome. Well, if there is no more questions, that is it. Thank you. Thank you, Will, for being on the call. And again, thank you, Caitlin, for fixing the template for us. But thank
It's
you
my
all. I think
pleasure.
that's it. I hope you all have a great Tuesday and a great rest of the week. And happy CSS week.
Thanks, Rebecca. Thanks, everyone.